Legend of Total here, and today we've got a Saving a Disaster battle playing as Wulfrik the Wanderer going up against the Vanaheimlings. So this situation is pretty damn dire. It's also a disaster campaign, I suppose, because if we lose this battle, it is game over. The enemy here have caught us in force march, and even though we have a larger army, it's slightly inferior. They do have similar units, but I believe the difficulty is on very hard, so their units are just going to absolutely just roll right over us. But we do have one advantage over them, which I can see, which is the Sea Fang ability. If we can maximize its potential, there might be a chance. Now, because they've got Skin Wolves, we can't really properly use our Skin Wolves, because if we send ours versus theirs, you know, it's obvious that ours will not win. In fact, they'll do so little damage that it won't even be funny. But our most important unit in this battle is actually going to be the Ice Wolf Chariots here, because what I want to do here, basically send all of the forces into the corner so that we can get the enemy to blob up. Then I can use Sea Fang to hit them and hurt them as much as possible. Trying to keep a straight long line on the field of battle and to send it through. It won't stay straight, and for one thing, they'll just roll over us too quickly. We basically want to slow down the battle as much as possible so we can use it 3 times. And the only way we can do that is to make sure they can't flank us. But on the other hand, if we do win this battle, I believe that guy is the faction leader, and we should be able to confederate him. But yeah, this is very dire. But yeah, this is the big problem with I guess very heavily melee-related factions, melee infantry-related factions at the beginning of the campaign. Especially if you're playing on upper difficulties. If you're playing on like normal difficulty, it doesn't matter. You can just charge in, and if you've got the bigger army, whoever's got the stronger army wins basically. But when you are playing on upper difficulties, like if you send this guy here up against another one, they'll just get absolutely destroyed because the AI's got melee attack and defense bonuses. It's as if they're going up against a higher tier unit. Alright, so we need a corner. So I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing for the AI to get those cheats. You just need to be aware of it if you're going to play on these difficulties, because basically, it'll force you to come up with more creative solutions to winning these battles, apart from, you're more melee, throw them into battle and just hope we win. Because that's just, you know, you can do that on lower difficulties, but in upper difficulties, that's just, it will not work. Alright, so we've got some reinforcements here. The balance of power doesn't look horrendous, but again, the biggest problem here is tactically, we only have one tool at our disposal, this. I'm really relying on that. I mean, you'll watch as our guys fight, because we're also on force march. As our guys fight, they are just going to get destroyed. They're not going to be able to inflict kills, nor are they going to be able to hold their ground for very long. So we'll start getting our way back here. We want this to be as tight as humanly possible. Probably want to put them right there. And just wait until the end of the battle before we use them. So yeah, they're already tired. Like I said, make this super tight. So that we can make the maximum use out of Sea Fang. Now there's certainly some ups and downs to doing this. The biggest downside is that because our morale is going to be vastly inferior to theirs, our troops are going to be routing very early compared to theirs, and that's going to mean that our forces will just immediately leave the battlefield. Whereas, well, having them run away from here does give them a chance to rally. Once they've broken, they're not really particularly useful anyway, so it's sort of like a downside that doesn't really matter that much. Okay, we got some reinforcements come in here. What are they? Just come and stand over here. I'll never get them to there, and I think the biggest problem for us in this battle is the Skin Wolves. Those we just can't deal with them. We got no anti-large, and our own Skin Wolves will not beat them in melee. You know, them being fresh and us being exhausted, you know, there's not much we can do about that. Alright, so we really want to make sure that they're not, like, eating at our flanks at all, so just as much as possible, make sure that there is just no flank for them to get.
For the Chaos Gods! Quick! Chaos Marauders!
You come in here. Your job's gonna be to try to kill the enemy general. Alright, so the bounce power is even, but... Okay, we got some more troops coming in over here. Bounce power is even, but it's still like... Again, the difficulty is the problem here. We can't really do much with the melee infantry. We do not have the advantage. I don't care what anyone else says. Apart from this. This is our only hope of victory, and we have to maximize its potential. Flanking would just have done nothing. Also, killing the enemy general, you got to keep in mind, because of the leaderships, bonuses that they get, when you kill the enemy general, it really doesn't make that big of a difference towards, you know, routing the enemy units. Yeah, just keep them in reserve. These guys here are certainly a problem, but... Alright, wait until this is really tight before we start using this. Okay, where's the enemy general? Is he in there yet? How are they doing? They're actually doing quite well there. Well, you know, they're not exhausted. Alright, here he comes. Alright, it's pretty tight now. Just gonna try to hit our own units. Let's hope for 100 kills. Oh, yeah, that's what we were hoping for. Good stuff. Because normally these units are on loose formation, right? But since they're dogpiling all their units into such a small area, they're in tight formation, and that's what we wanted. Good. Now I need you to kill him. Alright, I could send him in, but those javelins will wreck us. I don't want... Yeah, just keep them in reserve for the later on the battle. There's nothing we can do about them at the moment. At least they're shooting into more or less shields. Right, try to draw the enemy general further in this way. Okay, there he is. We don't want to be fighting in their ranks. You want him to be fighting in our ranks. Alright, bounce of power is actually in our favor at the moment, but for how much longer? Because you'll watch... If we don't use another Sea Fang, it will keep going down. So they lost there, but at least they actually did a lot better than I expected. Still, the fact that they didn't show up here, that pisses me off. Alright, he's actually losing there. Yeah, losing big time, that's not good. Get him out. Yeah, that force march is really hurting us. Okay, this is another good opportunity for Sea Fang, but it needs to happen like frickin' now. Shit, they're shooting at us. If they're shooting at us, we're just gonna have to get into the fight. Here we go. This might actually be a good opportunity. And it is another really good one. Break through there. Try to get at those Marauder Hunters. And these guys here, yeah, they're doing shit. Of course they're gonna do shit. Get them back. Can't do anything with them.
Chaos Marauders! For the Blood God! Ready to murder!
Try to kill the enemy general, please.
Chaos Marauders!
Really didn't help that you're on force march. They're coming back. Oh, are you serious? Could you have been any more useless? God damn it.
So be it.
Don't lose him. Get him out. If we lose Wulfrik, it's over.
Chaos Marauders! Charge!
Okay. Our Marauder Ice Wolf chariots here are doing alright. We're winning, kind of. Man, our chariots. Sorry, Ice Wolf. Yeah, Skin Wolves. They did so badly. Enemy general hasn't left the battlefield yet. Where'd their Skin Wolves? Their Skin Wolves are. I don't know what they're doing.
The Changer directs us.
Looks like we actually got this.
Wulfrik the Wanderer.
Alright, last one. I mean, they're not really in tight formation now. Maybe just wait.
Very well. Chaos Marauders.
Now, the great thing here is that because we've defeated the enemy general, you should be able to get a confederation. Oh boy, I tell you what, though, we didn't even need the other Sea Fang. playing too much fucking high elves. But we would have definitely lost if that didn't happen. I mean, look at those kills on just 2 of them. Because he was losing in that straight up melee fight. Alright, we don't need to run them down. Okay, so I don't think anyone important got hit. Look at this shit. I think they took damage, but I don't think they was like losing casualties. I can't believe how early they ran from the battlefield. That was bullshit. So yeah. Perfect victory. So what did we lose? No units got lost. Their army's still alive. And let's take... Yeah, you're gonna need some money. So we should be able to confederate them now. But, you know, on our turn. Let's see what it says. Alright. Cool. Enemy faction leader is killed permanently. Oh, no. Form confederation. Yeah, form confederation. Duh. And you know what? You got your capital back, it looks like. Oh, no, you don't. Okay. Alright, well, that's sorted out your disaster. Okay, you got some financial problems, but... Alright, looking at this is what I'd recommend doing.
My challenge.
Probably merge some of these marauders. Alright, let's actually do it for you. So... Oh, you would definitely want to disband the army. You don't want marauder hunters, they're shit, but marauder hunters' javelins are alright. Skin wolves... I mean, the problem is price.
No escape.
How'd you... Was that like the first battle you've won? It's level 3! Dude, I think you should try a lower difficulty. Yeah, look, I'll let you level that up. Okay, so yeah, what I'd recommend here is, firstly, let's merge some of these marauders. How many? Yeah, these 2 guys here would be good. I'm not the biggest fan of them. Because, like, they don't have as much range, and yeah, just not the biggest fan of them. And people were saying in my useless video guide that these guys here should have got the the place instead of giants. I still think the giants are shit. Don't get me wrong. Right, and public order is bad, but it's not that bad. Alright, so how can you already have this situation going on? You must have declared war on the Vanaheimlings, because you start off with a non-aggression pact with them. Oh man. That's so bad. Well, your campaign's not over. Campaign's not over, but anyway,
Yes.
oh, he's got like no movement left.
Alright,
I'll take you to the Citadel of Lead.
Northmen come.
Hang on. Actually, you know what we should do? Disband him. We got 7 units in here. Let's ensure, because you got damage units here with no experience, versus units in here with experience. I'm not going to disband them.
I am the Wanderer.
I'm going to keep all of them. Alright, so we need to create some spots.
Champions fall.
Obviously, we don't want to merge them.
The eternal challenger. Sea Fangs ready.
Okay, and then transfer all of them in. So you got 20. And then this dude here can fuck off. Alright, now you're making more money and you've got a better army. Alright, so what I'd recommend at this point here, dude, is firstly, take a look at what we've done here. Then I would recommend starting a new campaign. And maybe just dial the difficulty down a little bit. Okay, I don't or just keep going. I mean, we got all of Albion now. If you do the same thing against Scaling, you'd be okay. And the army is a lot better. So, well, you know, it's a teensy-weensy bit better. That experience will help, and a bit of experience will certainly help Wulfrik the Wanderer, but it's not an easy campaign, and just got to be a bit more careful. But anyway, that's the end of this one, guys. So, hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something from it, and I'll see you next time, fuckers.